I'd like to take a moment to recognize that tonight I'm recording from the ancestral and stolen lands of the Coast Salish peoples, specifically the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. As a first-generation white settler, I acknowledge the great privilege and gratitude I have to live here. As an organization, the Forum continues its commitment to a journey towards truth and reconciliation through the acknowledgement and continuous unlearning of practices that perpetuate inequity and colonization.
The sun is shining, birds are kind of chirping, and we just pitched our first application to the Odlum Brown Forum pitch. So today is day one of our journey.
Step number one, path to the pitch, submitted my application.
Took me like 1,000 takes probably.
Mommy just applied to the Forum pitch competition. I'm excited. I was about to say I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous. I'm super excited.
I'm glad I did something like this because I've never done something like this before. I did it!
The journey of the entrepreneur is one to be revered.
Every single day you have to make a choice to be like, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna just follow it through for the next 24 hours.
For those who choose that path, they will be challenged, celebrated, and asked to give it all they have.
It's been long hours, it's been pushing the limits every day, but we love what we do.
And tonight, you have a front row seat to honor the journeys of our three Odlum Brown Forum Pitch Finale businesses. Carlyn Loncaric, Mehwish Panjwani and Kelly Thomson, Mehrsa Raeiszadeh. Each of them pitched their visions and were chosen from 368 submissions to share their unique goals and inspire us with their ambition. VodaSafe, changing the way we approach water rescue, recovery, and saving lives. QUIL, changing the way we use packaging for the betterment of the earth. Mintlist, changing the entire automotive buying and selling industry for greater inclusivity. They've each dedicated themselves to building businesses that create real impact. And throughout the Odlum Brown Forum Pitch program, they have pushed themselves even further.
The community the Forum has provided has been amazing.
They've been there every step of the road.
It's access to education and guidance and support.
From the resources they're provided, the exposure that we're getting, they'll do anything just to make sure we're succeeding.
Like the finalists before them, and women entrepreneurs across Canada that have accessed the Forum's capitals of education, mentorship, exposure, funding, and community. It's time for our finalists to share the pitch they've refined for the last 7 months and complete this final chapter, a celebration of their hard work as part of our community of thriving women entrepreneurs. It's time to activate our support for them at the Odlum Brown Forum Pitch Finale.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's so good to be here with you. I'm Paulina Cameron, CEO of the Forum, and your virtual host for today's the Odlum Brown Forum Pitch Finale. We'd love to know where everyone is watching and listening from today. I invite you to pop into the chat where you are, and we'd love to see how far-reaching today's community is. Our team is live on the line with you and excited to be connecting. At the Forum, we take time to practice community as a verb. Connecting community truly is a love language of ours, and we are so grateful that you are here with us for that today. For those of you who are new to the Forum, let me take a minute to introduce ourselves. Over the last 21 years, we have boldly supported the growth and development of Canadian women entrepreneurs. Well over 10,000 women have taken part in our educational and mentorship programs, building a stronger, more diverse, and thriving business community for us all. And that's what we're all here for today, activating the Forum community and its capital, which includes you, to support this incredible group of entrepreneurs who are innovating, taking risks, and making a tremendous impact. So, what can you expect next? Well, these three finalists have worked since September to refine their pitches as they gained the clarity and exposure that they needed to accelerate opportunities that align with their values. They've done all this hard work with the help of education, dedicated mentors, coaches, community, and more. You'll have the chance to learn more about their journeys as entrepreneurs and see their hard work pay off as they share their final pitches. And as we've evolved the program to help women access all types of capital, we've also evolved the event today in order to create even more opportunities for these entrepreneurs. We're so proud to share that all 3 finalists will win a prize package valued at $30,000 to take their businesses to the next stage of growth. Our goal today, and always, is to leave no woman behind and enable even more women entrepreneurs and their businesses to thrive by providing access to all the capitals they need. Before we get to the pitching, a reminder that we're also here to garner support for the Forum. The Forum, as a charitable organization, is able to deliver programs and host events like this thanks to the generous support of our sponsors, donors, champions, and volunteers. There are a number of ways you can engage and help amplify the impact of our work. The first is through our incredible silent auction, where you can check out some really cool products from local companies like Tentree and Blue Ruby and snag a memorable experience like a trip to Vancouver Island or Whistler. Many of these businesses are also led by women entrepreneurs, so make sure to check them out. Every increment of $1,500 allows us to support a women entrepreneur through our programs for a full year. In addition to financial contributions, putting your hand up to be a mentor or to champion our work is so impactful, and we'd love to hear from you in that capacity. You can always reach us at hello@theforum.ca. And if you're a woman entrepreneur in the audience wanting to plug into this incredibly supportive community, then head on over to our website, theforum.ca, and click Join the Forum. And of course, you, our audience, gets to participate as well. Our finalists have truly inspired us with their creative businesses that speak to their innovative thinking and determination to lead change in their respective sectors. After we see each one of our entrepreneurs pitch today, we'll have an online live voting moment. So make sure you keep your phones nearby, and I'll share the instructions a little later on. All right, before we get to know our finalists, here is a message from our incredible title sponsor, Odlum Brown.
Thank you, and hello everyone. As the title sponsor of the Odlum Brown Forum Pitch Program, it is my pleasure to welcome you from every corner of our country. Our finalists, Carlyn, Mehrsa, Mehwish, and Kelly, are 4 women entrepreneurs who are defying stereotypes and innovating in their industries. They are creating big visions. Their strength and success as business leaders are representative of thousands of women entrepreneurs in communities from coast to coast. They are rewriting the rules of business to be more inclusive, socially responsible, and forging their own path forward. To help them succeed, they need our collective support as customers, suppliers, investors, champions, and mentors to help propel their visions into reality. At Odlum Brown, we invest for our clients' futures. We also invest in the communities where our clients and team members live and work. Over the last century, we've learned the importance of building long-standing relationships with our clients and connecting with our communities. Our 100-year journey wouldn't have been possible without the support of our own advisors, mentors, partners, and more. So today, as you cheer on our luminary finalists, I invite you to ask yourself, how can you support them and other women in your community so that they too can create a legacy for their communities? Please sit back and get ready to hear their final, refined pitches after 7 months of hard work. Thank you for being here to show your support for Carlyn, Mehrsa, Mehwish, and Kelly, and for women entrepreneurs across the country. Thank you.
Our first finalists are a founder duo from Vancouver and Toronto. They turned their passion for sustainability and their vision as entrepreneurs into a new way to use or reuse packaging.
We've always loved being outdoors, hiking, biking, really anything.
That inspired us to create an activewear brand to help others enjoy the outdoors as much as we do. We started thinking about the packaging that we were going to use.
Really the only roommate fight that we ever had together was over the piles of boxes that were growing in our apartment during COVID. And it really made us think there has to be a better system, given that the only use of those things is single use to get it from point A to point B.
And that was the origin of QUIL.
Reusable packaging saves not only on the carbon footprint from manufacturing packaging over and over and over again, but also saves on the waste and the shipping of that packaging in the first place.
The two of us felt really passionate that if there's not reusable packaging out there that we can use, we will design it for ourselves. We figured we should see if there's any appetite of other brands in Canada who would also want to use it. The first brands that we reached out to, their reaction was, we have been waiting for someone to do this. So it was very quickly to the drawing board for the two of us of week by week, what do we need to make happen to actually be able to deliver them product in the date that we promised.
The first bag was miles away from where we are today, but we basically just went to the drawing board with no experience on how you design packaging. Just like mechanical things that people had clearly figured out when designing packaging, we were figuring out on the fly. As a business owner, you order packaging from QUIL the same way that you order packaging today. We'll ship you out a box of mailer bags that you can package each of your orders in.
Their order is delivered in our mailer bags. And then all they have to do is unpack their order, fold up the mailer bag, and drop it in any mailbox on their street or even in their apartment building.
We then receive returns, we clean and prep them, and we get them back to brands when they reorder packaging the next time. This felt like a way that brands could basically put their money where their mouth was and say, we're working with a company, a startup that's Canadian, to innovate on packaging, to really take the next step so that you have the option to shop more sustainably.
The customer response is actually the thing that has been the most surprising and motivating. How they have brought their little baby along to return the packaging and think that's an important moment. A teacher has actually brought our QUIL packaging into show and tell at her class. It just feels really, really satisfying.
What we want to do is start to expand into the shipping space as well, and design models where you can not only reduce the packaging waste from e-commerce orders, but also the shipping and CO2 emissions. Our love for being out in nature was the reason behind us wanting to protect nature for us and for our friends and family and for the next generation. And we really wanted to inspire others to do the same.
The more people that hop on into the circular economy, the more accessible it will become for all of us.
It only took 4 words for our next finalist to know that the automotive industry needed big change, and that she was the one to do it. Her ambition is undeniable, and her digital platform is disrupting the way people buy and sell their cars.
I always loved cars. I think the first time that I fell in love with a car, it was my dad's car. It was a beautiful burgundy Chevy that he brought to Iran from the States. And that car to me was like a spaceship. It had a big impression on me. After I finished my PhD at Georgia Tech, I wanted to buy a car to celebrate. I was saving for a few years, and that was my biggest purchase ever. And I knew the car, I had studied it, I knew exactly what I wanted. So I felt amazing walking in there, and then the first words out of the salesperson's mouth was, "Where's your dad?" And when I was asked that question, I felt at a disadvantage. I felt it was unfair. That moment I felt there must be a better way. I met my co-founder, Mike, at a car rally event in Vancouver. We both love cars, of course. He knew I was in the tech scene, so he shared that he had a business plan that he's really excited about. And that's when magic happened. I was like, profile of an early adopter. I totally get that. That's how cars should be bought and sold. Mintlist is a two-sided marketplace where consumers and dealers can directly interact with each other. We made selling your car on Mintlist super easy. It starts with taking a few photos of your car, and we'll do the rest of the work. We'll do Carfax reports, factory options you may not even know you had. And then we put it in a short 30-minute auction that you get to watch hundreds of dealers fighting for your car. It's for the first time that consumers can see the offer on their car is increasing. It's like going to 100 dealerships to see who pays the most for your car without even leaving your home. And when they want to buy a car, they have thousands of cars to choose from with all the information that they need at their fingertips. Building an inclusive product, an equitable experience for consumers was our #1 goal. And what we're doing is really important. Cars are the second largest asset for most people. And over 80% of women feel they're at a disadvantage when they go to a dealership. And over 85% of them feel unsafe transacting on sites like Craigslist and Kijiji. I always wanted to push boundaries. I always wanted to make things better, solve problems. But did I think that I would do a startup on cars? No. Combination of innovation, technology, and cars is a dream come true for sure. One of the things that we're most proud of is our culture. The team that we have built, we call it Mintlist family, and the values that we stand for. Integrity, trust, innovation, and respect. And we make sure that consumers feel that with buying and selling cars on Mintlist.
Oh my gosh, that's our bus ad. Mintlist.com right there.
Our goal is simple, to become a verb. The day I hear someone say I Mintlisted my car is the day I know we made it.
For our third finalist, it all started out in her at-home bathtub lab. Yep, you heard that right. Now, her innovative technology has become a leading life-saving sonar device, putting water rescue and recovery in the palm of your hand.
I lifeguarded for about 10 years and saw a myriad of incidents. When somebody is lost underwater, you have 5 minutes to find them and get them above the surface. So every second counts.
There was a story of a family, a little girl and her parents who were walking along a dock and she slipped in and they couldn't find her and they were right there. That to me was gut-wrenching. Drowning happens so quickly and so easily, but it is so preventable, and we need tools that will help us find people quickly so that we have a chance of saving lives.
Drowning is a silent epidemic. That's what the WHO calls it. Over 250,000 people are drowning each year, and nobody really knows what to do about it or how to tackle the problem. AquaEye is a handheld scanning sonar device, and its biggest differentiators are that it's portable, and it also uses artificial intelligence to help identify which objects beneath the surface are human and which aren't. Creating the first prototype was definitely a whirlwind. Really exciting, absolutely terrifying, constantly wondering if I was doing the right thing. Most of the work started over my dining room table and my bathroom, testing in the tub. It was essentially a lab, so like you couldn't use the bathtub at all. So it started in the bathtub, then it went to friends' pools, like apartment buildings that I could get into when people weren't swimming, that kind of thing, to fountains downtown in the middle of the night. I've always been an engineer. Ever since I can remember, I would take things apart at home. I was always called upon when something broke in the house to kind of come in and fiddle with it and fix it. So it's always been second nature for me to take things apart and figure out how they work. I did not think about starting a company. I just knew that I wanted to do something big, something that would help people, that would have an impact. But I was hiding what I was doing from everybody because I was afraid to fail. I didn't want people to know that I was up to this crazy thing and be laughed at and not be able to continue. I now realize it's actually good to be looked at like you're crazy because it means that you're doing something innovative. It is great to be wrong. It is great to have such crazy ideas that they fail, because eventually you will land on a really good one. You definitely do feel the weight of females or minorities on your shoulder that you want to do well. It holds you back for sure. Aqua is currently being used by lifeguards and firefighters, police officers and search and rescue teams, and most recently the Navy, which is going to be huge for us. Feedback from customers has been incredibly positive and makes me feel really proud. Anytime they come back and say, hey, we've used it on 15 cases and each time it's recovered somebody, or say, hey, another team was out there for 5 days, we went out and found them in 5 hours. It's nice to know that all the effort that your team and you are putting into something is paying off. Our target is to be dropping that drowning percentage each year by 5%, 200 lives saved, 400 lives saved. I want to see that number start climbing for us to have Aqua everywhere, to save lives around the world.
Hello everyone, bonjour à tous et bienvenue à l'événement pitch final du Forum Odlum Brown. For years, the Forum has been hosting this event as part of its mission to educate, mentor, and connect women entrepreneurs across the country. And because of your hard work, the Forum is building the future of entrepreneurship. A future with fewer barriers to success, a future with more innovation and economic growth, and a future where more women can lead the way, creating businesses that don't just succeed, but thrive. As a government, we want to support your work, and since 2015, we've been doing our part. The Women Entrepreneurship Strategy is helping you access the talent, expertise, and financing you need to start up, scale up, and access new markets. Part of that funding goes towards the Women's Ecosystem Fund, which is helping the Forum mentor and support entrepreneurs across Canada. And of course, we're making childcare more affordable, which means fewer women have to choose between raising their kids and having a career. Il reste beaucoup de travail à faire, mais on est déterminé à le faire. Parce que quand vous allez réussir, tous les Canadiens vont sentir les avantages d'une économie et de communautés plus fortes. À toutes les finalistes de cette année et à toutes les personnes qui font leur part pour soutenir les entreprises dirigées par des femmes, merci. I hope you enjoy the rest of your event, and I look forward to seeing everything you accomplish in the years to come. Merci.
I'd like to take a moment right now to say thank you to everyone in our coast-to-coast community joining us for this special event. We love bringing everyone together, and we're so grateful that you're taking the time to be here, to celebrate women entrepreneurs everywhere, and to support them in any way that you can. If you haven't made a donation yet, our silent auction is a great way to do so. And if you have, then you've already given future women entrepreneurs new opportunities to flourish. And to our many sponsors, a moment to acknowledge your generous support. Thank you to our incredible returning title sponsor, Odlum Brown, our Pitch Capital sponsor, Wheaton Precious Metals, our community impact partners, AWS, Crisp Media, DLA Piper, Good Eggs & Co., Jelly Academy, Nectar Yoga Retreat, Talk Shop Media, and the Corker Collective. Our research partner, the Women's Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub, our dinner sponsor, Fort Capital Partners, and our silver sponsors, Fasken, PCRM, and TELUS. any entrepreneur, mentorship is invaluable. It offers new insights, fresh perspectives, and a one-to-one honesty rarely found anywhere else. This was certainly the case for QUIL, Mintlist, and VodaSafe, who were joined by their 3 mentors from our business community on the path to their final pitches. Let's take a look at how these mentor and finalist teams work together.
Today, I'm meeting with Kelly and Mehwish. They've been refining and honing the message they want to deliver to the forum audience.
Would love to know if that slide clearly shows what our model is.
We earn revenue by selling to brands so that it's really clear to people not just what the steps are, but where the earning of the business happens.
Genevieve brings so much experience to this space. It's always awesome to just pick her brain.
And so for the two of us, who are earlier on in what we're doing with QUIL, it's just inspirational.
Are these the right milestones? If you were in our shoes, would you do anything differently?
Proving out that what you're doing at a small scale can also work at a larger scale is critical to help scale up the business.
Kelly and Mehwish are an amazing dynamic duo. I am so impressed with their skill set, their expertise, and the fact that they've decided to dedicate it to solving this problem.
Why does QUIL mean so much to you? Makes the facts and the figures more compelling, where you can see the passion.
The core of what they have and their ideas and their presentation of it has always been rock solid.
For sure, we have a lot of actionable feedback, which is really, really helpful.
Mehwish, Kelly, you're tackling one of the biggest environmental crises we face with waste and packaging. You've found a model that works. You have the skills and expertise. Now go out there and have fun and show the audience how we're going to get out of this mess. Good luck.
Today, I'm thrilled to be meeting with Mehrsa. One big thing that she needs to hammer on is really calling out that difference upfront. Like, make it clear, let there be no mistake.
Unlike online dealerships like Canada Drive, we do not own the inventory and do not compete with dealers. Already, we have the largest dealer network in Canada.
And when I heard that, it was like my ears popped. I was like, oh, wow.
Extremely helpful. I love working with Rebecca. Her energy, I can even feel it through Zoom. Her feedback is right on.
That sort of gives picture of growth and expansion.
I'm taking notes, Rebecca, I'm taking notes.
Being able to take the feedback and to incorporate it, for me, that's somebody that's teachable. That's somebody that's willing to learn, to, iterate the product and just ensure that everything is on point.
To paint a picture of hey, this is great, awesome, where are we going next?
But the main difference is that when we're thinking around scale, long-term sustainability, growth, I feel like just that little twist might make a difference on that page.
But she understands it, she cares. To provide a feedback that I can apply, I think was phenomenal. It really anchored me.
Mehrsa, you are inspiring. You are a force, and the industry needs it. I believe in you, so go show everyone tonight what Mintlist is all about.
Today we're really focusing on how do we create a narrative flow that feels authentic to Carlyn, so that when she gets up there on stage, she's excited to tell her story and feeling connected to the words.
Our customer immediately deployed Aquai and had the missing person on a stretcher within 5 minutes. He still had a pulse.
I played around with what would this look like if we moved it to the top? It's gonna introduce us to the very real life costing pain point that you are addressing and how incredibly vital your solution is.
Working with Melanie, she's really helped me identify what was missing in my pitch, which was our story. It was lacking or non-existent. So that's been the biggest takeaway.
Always that idea of what is one key thing here that my visual is driving home for them. It's always beautiful to see a pitch develop, and Carlyn is so incredibly coachable. She takes things in, she gives feedback. You need to give people a moment with that. Not a full moment. You need them to be able to sit with that, and then you're bringing them hope. So that's why I love that, like, we're in the business of bringing people hope, because you're also bringing your audience hope.
I absolutely feel more connected to this pitch. I think Melanie said her job is to make people feel empowered and excited to work on their pitch and to pitch it. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now, as I'm just stoked to get in and make these changes.
Carlyn, you have got this. You have worked so hard to get to where you are today, and I am so excited for you to get up on that stage and share your vision for how VodaSafe can bring hope to people.
We all know that an entrepreneur's journey is so much more than a one-time polished pitch at an event like this. It's asking the big questions to solve big problems, sleepless nights tackling the challenges of their business, the aha breakthroughs, the balance of family and business, and every other pivotal moment of the entrepreneur life. At the Forum, we celebrate, honor, and support that journey because we truly mean it when we say, leave no woman behind. And we know that you do too. So tonight, we're asking that you join us in showing women entrepreneurs that we are all in this together. At the Forum, we believe it's critical to support women entrepreneurs for a more dynamic, vibrant, and equitable business world.
That's why we're here for all women entrepreneurs.
Every step of the way.
Just keeping it real as a founder, because it's not easy, especially, when you're not necessarily automatically good at something and there's a million things to learn.
To be an entrepreneur, you really have to be all in.
I'm here with my child. I've got 3, and it's been really hard trying to get your business off the ground when you've got 3 kids.
It's funny because I keep smiling, but I'm actually incredibly stressed.
There's like this sense of real vulnerability and putting yourself out there.
One of the hardest things is feeling like you're alone and you've got this knot in your stomach about a big decision to make, and how do you make those decisions?
We're here because we're inspired by the women that have embraced every part of being an entrepreneur.
Being an entrepreneur allows me to provide for my community. It allows me to provide for my family, for friends.
I'm still very new and growing, but I'm really excited about where I'm headed.
The journey is hard. It's definitely hard, but it's also worth it. But you get through because of the people that you keep around you. They didn't know the first thing about batteries or what I was doing, but they believed in me and they said, I don't get it, but I get what you're trying to do and I believe in you.
I'm not doing it for the money and to be a millionaire. I'm doing it because it's a combination of everything that I love and that I'm passionate about.
We're here because every woman who wants to start a business needs access to a community.
The Forum not only talks the talk, but they walk the walk.
They've given bursaries to help me take their education programs. They've given me 2 mentors so far, which have really boosted my morale.
It was actually people who've been through this and then had success and grown companies and sold companies and been involved in all different levels of business who would look at my business and say, yeah, you really are onto something, go for it.
I faced a ton of unconscious bias, sometimes flat out sexism. And those were hard, so hard to overcome. But it's working with the groups, the organizations like the Forum that make it their mission to pull those things apart and make it easier for the people that come next. There's no way to say how valuable that is.
And tonight, it's about practicing community as a verb, activating our capital,
and standing with these women in any way that they need us.
Together, we've helped over 10,000 women entrepreneurs nationwide.
And we need your help to support 10,000 more.
Thank you for the opportunity, the Forum. I'm just so glad to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for connecting me with all of these other women entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much.
You've heard us say it. Now let's do it. For them and for all of us.
Leave no woman.
Leave no woman. Leave no woman behind.
Leave no woman behind.
Leave no woman behind.
Leave no woman behind.
1 in 6 couples in Canada experience infertility. Build your modern family with us at PCRM, the largest fertility treatment center in Vancouver.
Our entrepreneurs are about to pitch their visions, and then we'll have 3 minutes to respond to the insightful questions from our champions, Leah Wynn and Bobby Raeiszadeh. Leah has been a champion and mentor for the forum for years. Currently serving as the inaugural Chief Investment Officer of NBC, she is active in the startup and investor ecosystem, dedicating time to mentoring entrepreneurs and aspiring VCs, and is passionate about supporting individuals of diverse backgrounds while giving back to her local communities. Bobby is the founder and CEO of Virtual Gurus and is on a mission to create employment opportunities for underrepresented individuals. Named as one of the 50 changemakers for 2021 by Report on Business magazine, we are honored to have her with us today. All right, it's time for our first team to deliver their final pitch. To introduce these best friends and business partners redefining the way we think about packaging is Genevieve Pinto, partner at Renewal Funds.
Hi, I'm Genevieve Pinto, and I have been honored to work with the inspirational co-founders of QUIL. They saw a problem, realized they had the relevant skills and expertise to create a solution, and have dedicated their passion, their time, and their efforts to solving the huge waste and packaging crisis we've created with the explosion of e-commerce. I am so excited to introduce for you today Mehwish and Kelly, the co-founders of QUIL.
Hi, I'm Mehwish.
And I'm Kelly.
And we're the founders of QUIL. Before we begin, let's start with a question. Do you know what shipping looked like for your grandparents? A courier would drop off a box, they'd open it up, and throw away the packaging. Do you know what shipping looks like today? It's exactly the same, except with 10 times the volume. Our homes look like mini warehouses, our recycling bins are overflowing, and the planet is paying the price. How is it possible that in over 100 years, nothing has changed? What if we didn't have to throw away our empty packaging? What if we could just send it back? That's QUIL. We're reusable and returnable packaging, and we're the way shipping will work in the 21st century. Our model is simple. We make revenue by selling bags to brands in bulk. Brands can give their customers the option to upgrade to QUIL packaging at checkout for a fee. Customers then receive their order, unpack, and can drop off their empty QUIL bag in any Canada Post mailbox, free of charge. We receive returns, clean and prep them, and sell them back to brands for another use, cutting waste and over 80% of CO2 emissions. Today, we're strategically partnered with Canada Post, the largest shipper in the country, and D2C brands across Canada to build the world's first zero-waste shipping network.
We've proven that our model works. Over 50% of customers upgrade to QUIL at checkout, and over 60% of them return QUIL within 4 weeks. Finally, over 90% of customers say they're more likely to recommend the brand they shop from because of QUIL. And customers love it. We've designed a seamless return experience that they like to use over and over again. Our vision is to redesign e-commerce logistics so that it's not only better for brands and customers, but better for the planet. We started with packaging, but we have plans to touch the entire e-commerce supply chain by cutting shipping trips and emissions. It's a massive vision, we know, but we're the right team to tackle it. Collectively, we have deep experience working with Fortune 500 companies to optimize their supply chain and logistics. These are the problems that we know firsthand. As a society, we can't ignore the packaging waste problem any longer. Here's how you can help. As we scale, we're looking for introductions to sustainable Canadian brands and capital to help us get QUIL on every doorstep. Thank you so much for your time.
Great pitch. I actually, as you know, might have known or might know, but I've had to do a lot of pitches, and One thing I've always struggled with is doing a pitch in under 2-3 minutes. So kudos to you for packing that all in. I guess I just have I have a couple questions, but what would you say is your ideal client profile? So I do know that at the end you had said you're more looking for sustainable or people in the sustainable environment and everything. But what is your ideal client profile that you're able to market to, and how big is that market?
Yeah, so our current profile, the customers that we've been going after since launch to date, they're smaller Canadian businesses, primarily D2C, so e-commerce brands, and they do anywhere from $2 to $20-25 million in sales a year. And these brands are led by a founder who truly cares about sustainability, and their customer base cares about sustainability. It's part of their ethos from day one. That's who we launched with. As we continue to grow, we're now targeting larger national brands, particularly retailers who might not make their own product. And so really when it comes to sustainability, the things they control are shipping and packaging. And so we're talking to quite a few of those now to look at piloting with them across Canada. As far as the market goes, the market's huge. Across North America, there are over 180,000 brands that we could potentially work with. And with just 3% of them, you could hit $100 million in sales. So the opportunity is endless, and there are very few companies in North America doing what we're doing.
Nice. I do have other questions, but I'll let Leah go because I'm going to steal them all from her.
Thanks, Bobby. And you don't give yourself enough credit for your ability to pitch. I've seen you do it many times and do it really well. So thank you both, Kelly and Mehrsa. And I think, I love hearing the potential that you talk about. So can you maybe share a bit of what you think are the biggest barriers to adoption from your customer segments, as well as, who their end targets are? Because I think that will go a long way in terms of being able to realize that full potential.
Yeah, I think today the biggest barrier for adoption of reusable packaging for apparel companies is really the back-end logistics for them. These companies care about marketing and dealing with kind of the customer service element of things, but it takes a really heavy lift to build out the logistics infrastructure to do reusable packaging, which is why from day one, our mindset was, let's do this as a service so that it's something that's, for them, it's just as easy as ordering packaging the way that they do today. Moving forward for us as we scale to larger retailers, they operate very differently than kind of the small, medium-sized brands. And so each of them has very specific supply chain requirements, which is why our next big hurdle is kind of setting up a pilot with one of those national retailers to understand exactly how we can integrate into their current supply chain flow.
I think we have less than a minute, so I'll just be super fast. This is just more of a units type question, but approximately how many units per quarter are you I guess selling, but renting out?
Yeah, so each brand is different. Essentially what we're doing is we ask brands to estimate around 60 to 70% of their customers will opt into Quill. So there'll be another 30% where either the product doesn't fit in a Quill bag or the customer doesn't want to upgrade, but between 60 to 70%. So for a smaller bag brand, that could be anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 units a month. For some of our larger brands, that's upwards of 8,000-10,000 units a month, and then growing from there, especially with national retailers.
Awesome, great, thank you, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you and well done, Kelly and Mehwish. I can't wait for my next delivery to show up in a Quill bag. Our next finalist to pitch has created the simplest, most inclusive way to buy and sell your car, putting you in the driver's seat of any deal. Here to introduce her is Rebecca Johnson, Investment and Operations Associate at BKR Capital.
I am delighted to be introducing to you an exceptional being, a go-getter, and an award-winning entrepreneur who stops at nothing until she wins. Our company is bringing a unique twist to the automotive marketplace industry. That's exactly the piece that completes the puzzle. Please welcome Mehrsa Raeiszadeh, the co-founder and COO of Mintlist.
Hi, my name is Mehrsa and I'm the co-founder and COO of Mintlist. I was born in Iran and came to North America for my PhD in microelectronics. After I graduated, I wanted to buy a car to celebrate. I saved for 3 years, and this was my biggest purchase ever. Excited, I walked into the dealership, and the first words out of the salesperson's mouth, "Where's your dad?" This experience happens to people like me every single day. Cars are the second largest asset for most people, and women influence 85% of all vehicle purchases in Canada every year. Yet 76% of women feel they're at a disadvantage at the dealership, and 86% feel unsafe on sites like Craigslist and AutoTrader. Mintlist solves this problem. We're taking all this pain away with technology. We're the premier online marketplace to buy and sell new and used cars. Since we launched in 2022, we have 200 dealerships with $500 million worth of inventory. We grew from a team of 3 to 20 with 75% women and visible minorities. We're strong and diverse, and we have processed $25 million in transactions from people like you and me. Mintlist works. Meet Jenna. Mintlist helped Jenna sell her Honda. She received 82 offers in 30 minutes, trading it for a Porsche and saving over $7,000. This is just one example. On average, we save our customers $4,000. Our goal is to ensure none of you leave money on the table next time you buy or sell a car. Cars are a $1 trillion market with only 1% currently online. And our business model is simple. We charge dealers a transaction and a subscription fee. Mintlist has been on a rocket ship from the start. We launched last year, and we're on track to exceed $1 million in subscription fees alone this year. We have 90% margins and 10% month-over-month revenue growth. And you know what makes us different? We have the largest dealer network in Canada, over $500 million in inventory without owning it. With Mintlist, you can buy, sell, trade, lease, finance, insure, and warranty all in one place. Mintlist traction and patented technology has earned recognition in both the tech and auto industries, including winning AutoTech awards next to BMW and Lyft. We've been lucky to win a lot of awards, but that's just the shiny part. Entrepreneurship is hard and requires a lot of sacrifice, but I care about its impact and can't see myself do anything else. It's about time someone disrupted this industry with technology and made it a better and safer experience for all. Join the future of buying and selling cars today. Visit mintlist.com. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Mehrsa, for sharing what Mintlist is about, and even just sharing your personal journey as to why you decided to create that. I think it's really powerful when you have the lived experience and understand the problem that you're trying to solve. And so I guess one of my questions is, you talked about that $1 trillion market. What's it going to look like for you in order to hit that scale? And what are the challenges you foresee around that? Like, I know right now supply chain challenges around getting a vehicle seem to be pretty painful. So I wonder how you think about that. One, to hit that scale, but two, to also, tackle some of those challenges that might exist.
That's a fantastic question. Huge market. How are we going to scale and grow? What we have done is that we have built very strong partnerships with key industry partners from Industrial Alliance, RBC, Carfax, major car dealerships from Dilawri, which is the largest dealership in Canada, Go Auto. We have built strong relationships with them, and that's how we have $500 million worth of inventory. And what you mentioned as far as supply chain issue, that's a major problem. And that's why we partner with all the dealers. So if you're looking for a specific car and your dealership in your neighborhood doesn't have it, another dealership across the province or in the city may have it. And you can literally easily go to mintlist.com, browse the cars, and you can see all the available cars across the province. And the shipping and handling, everything is taken care of. So you can easily just purchase what you need.
Amazing, thank you.
So definitely I'm familiar with marketplace style companies. I have one myself. How do you handle the legalities behind the sale?
Fantastic question. The cars are like second largest asset for most people. So we're dealing with large transactions. So what we're doing is that the dealerships handle the transactions. We connect the consumers and the dealers after we have made the deal for the consumer. So we make sure that you get the best deal when you want to sell your car and help you find the car that you really want to buy. And then we connect you with the dealer, and then the transactions happen at the dealership. So the legals, everything is taken care of.
Yeah, it makes it sound like it's super easy to buy. And I think you mentioned in your pitch also the insurance piece. Can you maybe talk a bit more as to how that's integrated into that full process?
Absolutely. So we wanted to make this a one-stop shop. You don't have to be a car expert to get a good deal when you want to buy a car or get a fair price when you want to sell your car. So we wanted to integrate all the elements of buying and selling car processes in this. So when you want to buy a car, if you want to have your insurance, we have partnerships with Industrial Alliance, Always, RBC, so you can easily negotiate the deals for your insurance and pick a package that works for you. And every single car that we have on the platform has a warranty on it. So you have a peace of mind. You can choose the car online. You want to go to the dealership, test drive the car. Everything is there for you, warranty, insurance. You can customize it, get the best deal, and walk away with a peace of mind.
Mehrsa, what an amazing pitch and platform. I know how I'll be buying my next car. Okay, our final pitch comes from the engineer, former lifeguard, and visionary improving the way we approach water rescue and recovery. Here to introduce her is Melanie Ewan, managing partner at Volition.
I'm honored to introduce to you Carlyn Loncaric, the founder and CEO of VodaSafe. Now, when I first met Carlyn, she taught me that the biggest misconception about drowning is that we can't do anything about it. And VodaSafe is here to change that. Now, what impresses me the most about Carlyn and her team is not only their passion and drive to serve and support all those impacted by drowning, but their vision to disrupt a truly archaic industry. Please join me in welcoming Carlyn Loncaric.
Hi, I'm Carlyn, founder and CEO of VodaSafe, where our mission is to save lives through safer, faster water rescue. Having been a lifeguard for over a decade, I know what a family in distress looks like. No one should have to suffer the loss of such an avoidable tragedy. When it comes to rescue, every second counts. For example, last year, one of our customers in Texas responded to a missing persons call at a local lake. When they arrived on scene, another rescue team was conducting a conventional high-risk search to no avail. Our customer immediately deployed AquaEye, our AI device, and had that missing person, who still had a pulse, on a stretcher in 5 minutes. Tragically, doctors were unable to save this drowning victim. But this story, and so many like it, don't need to end this way. Over 250,000 people drown every year, and every year the US spends over $250 million on coastal rescues and recoveries alone. The cost and burden to our first responders and our medical system is too great to ignore. VodaSafe is changing that. Introducing AquaEye, our handheld sonar device that uses AI to quickly locate people underwater, turning hours or days of search into minutes at a fraction of the cost of current archaic rescue methods. We launched in 2019 and captured the trust of local early adopters, first responders who are in search and rescue, captains of fire rescue teams, and fire chiefs who saw AquaEye as a game changer. We leveraged those customer stories to then capture the attention of key accounts around the globe, such as the US Navy, the Bavarian Red Cross, and Indonesia's International Search and Rescue Agency. Our customers continue to talk, with 40% of our closed sales now coming through referrals, a rate which has doubled in the past year. We're currently selling into 8 countries and are in negotiations with many more. Our IP strategy continues to evolve with both approved and pending patents. Our team of 12 is small but swift. My background in lifeguarding and microelectronics brought the product to life, while Patrick's background in engineering has carried the product through the growth stages of manufacturing. Eric joined in 2020, and his experience leading sales teams has been pivotal to VodaSafe's success. We broke even last year and are now fundraising to land and expand new global markets. We're on track to hit $3.3 million in revenue, another year of over 100% growth. Funds raised will be used to help our manufacturing process, build out an app so that we can provide customers with data management and also increase our recurring revenue stream. And finally, to ensure our story is being told around the globe. At VodaSafe, we're in the business of giving people hope. We know Aqua works. We have proof. What we're asking of you here today is to join us in choosing rescue over recovery. Help us to save lives through safer, faster water rescue, because tragedy is avoidable. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I've definitely heard of you. I used to actually work in oil and gas safety and high-tech rescue was my background. But my question would be, I know you had mentioned with AI, do you use a form of like thermal imaging with the AI? Is that how you're?
No, we're using sonar, so echolocation, similar to the way that dolphins or bats would move, but also used in kind of submarine and military use, but just in a much more. The AI allows it to be a lot more accessible to our customers. So some of our customers are familiar with side scan sonar, which needs to be mounted on a boat. But the biggest complaint we get is that the data is really confusing, and usually they don't have enough time to train on it, or maybe one person on the team is comfortable operating a device like that. Aqua is very much a game changer, and that is just so much easier to use, way more effective, and actually conducive to rescue.
Great, thank you. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Carlyn. I think it's amazing, what you're trying to do and actually save lives. And I'm curious because, and also congratulations, you mentioned you broke even last year and you're looking to grow. So I guess, how big is your target market globally versus locally? And then a second question is, what other verticals can your technology be applied in?
For sure, we get that question a lot. And it's just a matter of trying to stay focused. Our global market, our global TAM is about 5 billion, but we see a lot of different verticals in terms of different ways that we can have our technology be incorporated into other systems. And there's also different things that the military or search teams are actually looking for, whether it be lost vehicles or shipwrecks, et cetera. So we could pair with a lot of kind of different other industries. We're just trying to stay focused on our mission right now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's good. I guess without giving too much of your juice, what's the approximate price per device?
So our pricing depends if you're buying, most of our customers started by buying 1 or 2 units, but now they're starting to buy entire systems from us, which involves training and annual reviews and, our software updates that allows them to kind of start building out better systems and plans and start doing predictive analytics about where issues are. But I mean, compared to other equipment they buy, it's a 10th, a 20th of what they spend on a side scan. So.
Yeah, and then I think you mentioned earlier that a lot of it is through referrals, but I guess what is your strategy for, especially with the global expansion, how to get into new markets and what that looks like and any localization that's required?
For sure. So we've been, we learned the hard way about how to find a good partner, what it means to be a good partner. It's a really easy product to get behind because people are excited by it, but we don't want it to just live on a shelf somewhere. We want people to understand that even though it's incredibly powerful, it's brand new. Like, it is revolutionizing the way people do their jobs. And so it requires education. So we actually have, to date, all of our international dealers have been coming in organically. We haven't spent any time marketing. And so we have an internal vetting system whereby, one, they buy into the program. So we want to know that they are actually invested in working with us on this. And then with that buy-in, they get a couple units as well as training. We'll actually fly out to meet them in their area and learn about their environment and their customers. And we also have an internal grading scheme where we evaluate them on, have they ever worked with new technology before? What are their sales channels look like? What kind of volumes have they seen in the past? And really try to figure out if they're serious or if they just want, the next product to throw on their shelves. And so far, it's proved incredibly fruitful. So that funding, though, will go towards more travel and more time spent kind of building these new relationships.
Amazing. Well done, Carlyn. Thank you. You're making such a huge difference in so many lives with your technology. Each of these entrepreneurs are worth celebrating, and we want an opportunity to involve you, our audience, and hear what you think next. Did one of them strike you as the most innovative? Which pitch really resonated with you? You can vote now. Grab your phone and I'll walk us through the process. The website that you're going to go to is now on the screen right below and in the chat. And we've also created a QR code that you can scan. This will take you to a poll where you can cast your vote for QUIL or Mintlist or for VodaSafe. Again, grab your phone, head to the website and cast your vote. The voting will be open for the next 2 minutes, so take a moment to gather your thoughts and cast your vote. If you have any questions, please connect with our team in the chat. Later tonight, you can head to the forum socials to see the results. Now that we have seen everyone's visions, what happens next? Well, I'm so excited to share with you again that not one, but all 3 of these entrepreneurs are being awarded today and are walking away with a prize package valued at over $30,000. How's that possible? Well, thanks to this year's prizing being generously donated by our capital sponsor, Wheaton Precious Metals, and our community impact partners, AWS, Crisp Media, DLA Piper, Good Eggs & Co., Jelly Academy, Nectar Yoga Retreat, Talk Shop Media, and the Corker Collective. These sponsors have come together to make sure all 3 businesses receive capitals to accelerate their incredible momentum coming out of this program. Now, I'd like to wrap by saying thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank you for coming out to show your support for the forum and for QUIL, Mintlist, and VodaSafe. These 3 businesses are going to continue to do great things. So make sure you're following them and the forum online and stay engaged through our newsletter. Thank you.